Hi everybody, welcome at the live. Let's see, I'm going to search for the live on my iPad just to make sure that I can see everybody coming in. Already see the first people. Hi everybody, nice to see you. Hi Saskia, nice to see you again. Let's see. I'm going to work with our new collection. So much fun. Can't wait to show you guys. Hi Sylvia, nice to see you. Hi Geisha. Hi Patricia. Welcome at the live. Hi Yvonne, welcome. Hello from Maryland. Hello. Hi Nancy. Hi Miranda. Nice to have you here. Hi Linda. Hi David. Hi Patricia. Oh hi, it's been a while. Yes, it's been a while. Hello from Oregon. Hi Ingrid, nice to have you. Hoi Marijke, well. Hi Marije. So I'm going to work with our new collection. Hi Anita, yes, we're up for it. Hi Ella. So I'm going to work with the new collection, the Florals and Fabric. And of course I already prepped something, a little booklet that I'm going to work in because I made an example. Oh, you got it today, Miranda. Did you even have a chance to play with it already? Can't wait to see what you make with it. Hi Sue. Hi Joanna. Johanna is it, I think. Hi Paula. Hi Esther. Hi Ilse. Nice to have you here joining us, because I probably will miss some comments, and I know you're probably busy with your boys around this time, but you will see more of the comments that I will probably, because when I start creating I tend to miss some things. So I made a little booklet with our new papers. Super fun to work with them. This one very pretty with the flowers like the stamps. I made a little pocket with this one, and of course I used the edges from our new collection. This is an etched die as well, and this is the new paper. Really happy with it. Love the bricks and the pebbles on it. Hi Nora, nice to see you. Is the paper pack in the US? Oh, please, somebody from Elizabeth Craft Design, help me. I don't know if it's in the US. I thought it was, so it should be you should be able to order it. Hi Joseph, nice to see you. So I made an example for Els. She already showed a lot of examples in her live on Wednesday. Super fun to see all the work of our design team on a live. We really appreciate everything they do for us. Hi Valerie. Hi Suzanne. Hi Krista. So one of the examples, I was working with like the positive and negative images. That is really fun, a really fun thing in this new collection that you're able to work with. I thought it would be nice to do that on a live as well, just to show you how I did that, because I think you can play with that. Oh, you thought not yet? Well, maybe that's my mistake, but Charlene, it is in the US but hasn't arrived in the warehouse. It will be soon. Okay. Oh, hi Femke. One thing that's not available is the paper. Rest is available. Okay. So working with the positive and negative side of images, and I think you can play with that with the whole collection, so you have all kind of options. So I want to show you one thing with it, and then I think you will be able to play with it with your own style, in your own color range that you like. So really fun to see after this live if you're going to make something like I'm doing now. Tag us please, show it in the Elizabeth Craft Design family Facebook page, and in the planner and journal Facebook page, of course, because we like to see what you make. Like, it's a great idea to do the contrast today. Yeah, I thought so too. Hi Daatje, long time no see. That's correct. Hey girl. Hi Katrina. So I really like to see all you guys again. It has been a while, so fun to be back. Let's see. I'm going to use stencils. I'm going to use the stamps from the new collection. And else I showed you everything in the live from Wednesday, and as you already know, you can also always watch those back on Facebook and on YouTube, on the Elizabeth Craft Design YouTube channel. So what I'm working with today is this stamp set. I'm going to work with this stamp set, also going to work with this stencil from our stencil pack. So that's what I will be needing today. And of course you can prep like your journals like I always do, just using the papers from the collection, watercolor paper. I really like to combine those, and here I already did some stitching with the pocket, of course, and some stitching with the burlap, and I'm going to use that as a base for these pages today. Are you back at socials just one time? I think this will be just one time, Claudia. I did take a little step back from socials, as you already noticed. So, but we have a really great design team, and you will see, I think, Rihanna live on Monday. That's correct, right, Els? The burlap looks so cool. Thank you. Hello everyone. Those edges are so cute. Like, comment, and share. Thank you for commenting and sharing. So I'm going to use this stamp, and I'm going to stamp it with some Versamark ink, and I'm going to use, and this is really old, but it's extra thick embossing powder. It's a clear embossing powder, but you can still get those at, I think, every craft supply shop probably. So this is just what was in my own collection still. Let's see, maybe put this over here. Just want some kind of a flat surface, of course, to stamp on. I'm not really big and good stamper like Anita is, but I'm going to try my best. Put a little piece of paper underneath because I'm going to use the embossing powder, and I need something to put it back in the jar with. So let's see. I'm just going to stamp it, and you won't be able to see it on camera, I think, because it's transparent and it doesn't pick up with the lighting. Maybe it's just picking up a little bit because the stamp is still a little bit dirty from the black I stamped before, but that doesn't really matter. Hi Miranda, thank you for your comment. Let's see, I'm just going to put this on the side, and as I already told you, I'm going to put some embossing powder on top. It's the transparent. As you can see it, Mary, that's nice. And just going to stamp over the stitches. I don't mind them, just not really looking at them, to be honest. And then I'm going to take this embossing powder, put that on top. And it's a clear embossing powder, so you will only see the paper that's underneath it. But the trick is, of course, to use it with watercolors. And I did a similar thing in my Journal With Us video. Don't know if you guys already know that Ilse and I give some free content every month at the Art Journal Specials blog, and you will see a video with a special theme. And this month it was watercolor paper, and then we do some free videos. Ilse does hers in Dutch. I am doing mine in English. At least I do my best to make it understandable for you guys. Hi from sunny California. Hi Cindy. So I did something with the embossing powder as well on that in that video. So if you already saw that, you know the process probably. So here is the embossing powder. I'm going to heat it and I'm going to melt it. Thanks for the reminder. You need to do yours for April. But Tricia, you were so busy with your examples. You made so many beautiful things. You're very understandable. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Sue. That's so nice. I think I'm done. Almost, just a little bit with the last one. Ingrid needs to do April as well. Well, you guys, you were all so busy with all those beautiful examples. So I totally understand you didn't get around to doing those. Well, he said it, but it doesn't seem like a really good layer on there. So I'm really curious if this will go well with the embossing powders, because it should work as a resist. And to be honest, I never seen this happen before. So it looks like the embossing powder is like completely gone. So I wonder if this will work as a resist, to be honest. If it doesn't work, I will do the same thing over here just to show you, and I will do it again. It should work. Normally I never had that problem, but it looks a little bit different. Don't know why. Well, we'll see. Going to take the same stamp and some stays on ink, and I'm going to repeat the same thing I did with the Versamark ink. I'm going to do it when it's old. It doesn't work that well anymore. You mean the embossing powder, Anna? Because I used the same embossing powder for my example for else, and then that worked perfectly. Really did. So maybe that was just luck, and now it's truly gone. Maybe I have to restamp it and just do it again. We'll see. Let me do the black ink now, because as I said, I'm going to work with positives and negatives. So this will stay clear when I'm going to work on it, and then I want to have the black stamped images next to it, just as a contrast. Let's see, let's put it here. Of course, I'm just stamping it on top of some of the black, so you won't be able to see the complete image, but just playing with it for my backgrounds, because of course you can still put some pictures on top, keeping your memories in your journals, as I like to do. And then one is going to be in this corner. And I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not going to measure it, and it doesn't have to be completely perfect. Of course, you can use a stamping tool to line them up perfectly, but that's just not my style. So I have them with transparent, and here I have the black images. Just going to clean it up a little bit, so I don't have a really black stamp anymore. And I think I'm going to repeat it with the Versamark, because I'm not trusting what I did there. And restamping absolutely will have a effect on the crispness of the stamp, of course. But let's see. Here it did work a little bit. I'm just going to try it again. It will always be perfect at the end, right? Else we just go with the flow, and then we just say it was meant to be like that. No, with mixed media you can play with your mistakes as well. And I learned in the last years, while journaling in a journal that I can't rip my pages out of, because I really almost never ever do that. I do some fixing, like put a piece of paper on top of something if I really don't like it, but most of the time I just keep my pages like they were with the mistakes, and I have learned to live with that. And to be honest, it doesn't really bother me when I look back at it. I'm just happy with the process and with the thing I made, so it's never been a really big problem. This looks better. Maybe I went too far with it. I just made it too hot. That could be. So I'm just going to leave it now. Hi Charlene, and I was watching from the US. Hi Sandy. Embrace those imperfections, eh? Right. Because everybody works in their own way, and if you really get nervous with looking at stuff that you don't like, or if you really have some problems with working on the pages that you didn't really like, of course you really should take those pages out if you don't like them. But I think if you learn to work on them just more, then you will probably get even more creative. But it's a process, and it doesn't go in one time. That's it's something that you have to learn. I really did. I'm going to take some blue teal color paint because this time I want to match the left page a little bit with the right one. Thanks for that tip, I've forgotten it. You can always learn from little mistakes, right, Sylvia? So now I'm going to put my paint on there. As you can see, this works as a resisted image. And in the example that I already made, maybe you have seen it on the Elizabeth Craft page with the announcement of the live, and then you've seen it in green because I made it in green for my example for else, just using a little bit of a greenish color in there as well, working on top of it with the watercolors. I'm leaving a bit of the left side blank because I want to put some splatters on there, not too much of the paint, just letting it flow off of the page. Hello from Ohio. So just using some pigment, putting some extra water in there and just playing it with it on the pages. Of course, some splattering because that's what we all like to do. And I already told it a million times in the lives, I don't really like to heat set my pages, but because of the time I do it with in my live videos, watercolor just dries more beautiful when you let it air dry. That's my opinion. This is blue color. Let's see, Femke. Did I miss something? Love the color combination. Thank you. Love the colors you're using. Thank you. It really matches the piece of the paper nicely. I really like doing that. You have one piece of design paper from our collection, and when you work with watercolors, you can match the colors and the pages still belong together even though they're completely different. Doesn't the watercolor, let's see, buckle a little bit more if you let it dry more naturally? No, I haven't had that issue, but it does depend on how wet you make it, I think. This is actually a pretty thick watercolor paper, but I do use the 200 grams and I have never had it really buckle. And if it does, if you close your journal the next day, it's pretty perfect. Now when the first layer is almost dry, you can go back in with some watercolor splashes, because when you put wet in wet, they disappear, of course, and when you put it onto a dry surface, you will see the splatters more clearly, so I really like it. And then I dry it again, and then you will have some nice splatters on that watercolored bit as well. Let's see, it's watercolor paper. Yes, it is watercolor paper. And while I'm spreading, I just want to put some of the white that I have here. I'm going to put that white on the other page as well. And for that, I'm using some acrylic ink. It's already liquid, so it really splatters very easily. I really like it, and it isn't translucent, so you want your white splatters to be really white. And the same thing with black. And then with acrylic ink, you don't have to water down your acrylic paint. It's really nice to use for splattering. So I'm going to open it, I hope. To be honest, I did the video that I made last time, oh no, with the examples from else, I really dropped the complete bottle and it went all over the page that I was making, but I managed to save it, so that was nice. But it really gave me a scare nevertheless, because I really thought, oh my god, there goes my complete project with white acrylic ink. Love white splattering. Yes, I really do love it as well. I always say try to use a special brush for your splattering with acrylic. Don't use your watercolor brush, because watercolor brushes don't like acrylic paints. They have plastic in them and it's not really fun for your paintbrushes. So be careful with that. You don't want to ruin your nice watercolor paintbrushes, right? So just a little bit of a warning, just some little splatters here and there, nothing big. You can use, when you use a little bit of water, of course, so you just put it into the ink, then into the water a bit, then you get some bigger splatters, but you don't want to water it down too much, because then they will get a little bit more translucent and they lose their white crispness on your page. It's so pretty. Thank you, Anne. So we have to wait for those splatters to dry, of course, because if you want to stamp on top of it, it will get smeared and that's not a pretty effect. I like it a little bit. It don't have to be too neat, but I don't want to smear my ink, of course. So when this is done, it's time for our next step. I'm going to work with a stamp again, and I'm going to work with the stencil. So I think it's dry enough, and then I'm going to use this. I think it's a tulip, right? This image, and I'm going to put that over here in black. Hello, too late, we'll rewatch the beginning later. Hi, I'm Fran. Nice to have you joining. What brand is the white ink. That was a Liquitex ink, but you also have the Amsterdam acrylic inks, and I actually have another brand here. It's De La Rowney, really like those as well. To be honest, with Liquitex, De La Rowney and the Amsterdam inks, I think they're all okay when you use them just for your splattering and just putting some quick details on your pages. The prices do range, and I think for just splattering you don't want to have a really expensive ink. Yes, it's a tulip. I know it's a tulip because of course you created it, but I think if you want to see something different in it, you could, but this is for me definitely a tulip. Nice delicate splatters, unlike mine. I have really heavy hand. Maybe you can use a little bit of a smaller brush. That's helpful maybe. So I'm going to use the StazOn again. And just put it on in the corner here. Just going to apply some pressure, of course, because I do want the ink to be on the watercolor paper. You have to be mindful if you use a watercolor paper with a grid, then it is more difficult to stamp on it, of course, because your stamps do like a little bit of a flat surface. So if you want to use watercolor paper, that's something that you should look at. If you want to stamp on it like this, don't use watercolor paper with too much of a grid. I like those watercolor papers for backgrounds very much, but for this it doesn't work that nicely. Like a mask, yeah, right. It's a little bit of a folkish style, so it's fun to work with. You will see those on our papers as well. Love the stamp. Thank you, David. And now, as I said, I'm going to work with the negative, like the black and the white. This same image, it's a little bit different, but it looks a little bit the same because it's also a tulip. So I'm going to put that on the burlap, and I'm going to use some modeling paste for that. I'm going to use a white modeling paste. Because I thought it was fun to show how that works on this fabric, and just to have those two images next to each other. So I'm just going to put my stencil here. Really liked using those stencils. Really fun for backgrounds, but with those images of the flowers and like this doily, you can really use it just as an image on itself and just put some different types of modeling paste on there. And you can even maybe use 3 on one page and with all different modeling paste. So I think that would be fun to do as well. Maybe I will do that in my own journal. Just before you do the second one, you have to be sure that the first one is really dry. So I'm not going to move that anymore for the image to turn out nicely. Some white. Make sure I hit everything. Not too thin, because then you will only see the fabric. I do want to have the white to turn up nicely on the fabric. Look, that's so cool, right? I really thought that was fun to show you guys. It's a very fan brush for makeup I'd like to use. Not made for crafts, but we women paint our faces after all. Yes, that's true. That's absolutely true. That up to, yeah. I already saw that. Let's see. Curious to find out the result of that paste. Well, this is it. It just will be this white. I'm going to heat set it. You can do that with modeling paste. Be careful. Just keep moving your heat tool, because else you will burn it, or it's going to boil, bubble up a little bit. I do miss some white splatters on my burlap now, so I'm just going to take that ink again and put some more splatters. And I even think I'm going to put in some black just to even it out and have some black splatters with this black tulip as well, because now I'm looking at it, I'm just missing something. So just while you're creating, you can also always add some things. The white paste look fabulous on burlap. The design is striking as well. Oh, thank you, Mercedes. So let's go back into the white ink. Put some of the splatters on the burlap. And of course, because it's fabric, some of the ink will go into it, because it absorbs. So you have to be a little bit heavy-handed, a little bit more heavy-handed with this. Yes, I think the splatters make it stand out too. Thank you. Let's see. Now when I want to put on some black, first I have to dry the white, because if I don't, they will when they touch each other, you will get some grayish color, so you don't want that. When the white is dry, you can go on top of it with the black. Cool modeling paste. Can you paint the modeling paste? You mean when it's on the page or before you're going to put it through the stencil? Because you can put some color, like pigments, with the modeling paste and then put it through a stencil. You have to be mindful, because if you put like an acrylic ink with it, then of course you can color your modeling paste, but modeling paste is thicker than your acrylic ink, and when you want to use it through your stencil and it's too thin, of course it will go underneath and your image won't be as nice as this image turned out. So be mindful of that. But yes, you can color it. Of course, you can put paint on this. And actually, when you do modeling paste on like a watercolor paper, if you go back and look at some of my previous lives for Elizabeth Craft, I'm sure I did some modeling paste on watercolor paper and went on top of that with watercolors. And that works as a resist as well, as does the embossing powder does. it's different, but it also works as a resist because the modeling paste, it's acrylic based and it has like a plastic in it, and that will resist your watercolor. So now let's go do some black splatters on the image. Yeah, you can put paint on top of it, but you have to be really careful coloring, but of course you can do that. But I think putting colored modeling paste through a stencil, it's easier. Now with the black acrylic ink, hello Joseph. Just a few splatters, not too much with the black. Like that. I think that's enough. You don't want too much. This is the first year I have tulips in my garden. They're so confused though with our crazy weather, but they are coming up. So I have to buy the stencils and tulip stamps for the release. Yes, of course, from the release, yeah, of course, because you want to document those pictures and then you need all of this stuff. Just kidding. But I think it really does go nicely, this collection, with some pictures of like flowers in the garden, some nice nature pictures, because it's springtime and you want to go out for a walk, and we can go out finally after like 2 crazy years. We all want to go out, so I think this collection will be very useful to combine them with some journaling about some trips and nature walks. So this is it for the background. Then what I have here as well, let's see where I have them. I already prepped that. It's also gorgeous, I love them. I have them in my front yard. Yes, I really do. They are nice in gardens, but I really do like them to have them in my house as well. Really like, they really feel like spring is in your home. So what I did, I die cutted these branches from the new collection out of some vellum paper. I really think it's fun, and we have some different styles in there. You have the one where the leaves are closed and they just have a little bit of a line in there, and I use the ones with the opening. Love what you done on the 2 pages. Thank you, Paula. It's really spring, this collection. So cool again. You want to get started with it. Yes, can't wait to see all the things that you do with it, Anita. So I die cut them twice, and I thought it would be nice just as an element, hanging them from my page, just like that, just as an extra element on top of it. I didn't want to use something colored, or I didn't want to use something in black, because I really liked what I had going on with the positive and the negative on these pages. And of course with the vellum it's clear and you can still see through, so I thought that was a nice addition. And let me see, where is my tiny attacher? But because of course I'm not cannot do a page without using the tiny attacher. So I'm just taking those, putting the attacher here, some tiny staples. You can even, this could be enough, but the vellum is kind of fragile, so I think I'm going to put a little bit of a staple here and here, just to keep them a little bit more secured. Those leaves would great out of pearl vellum too. Yes, Femke, I think they would. And then this one, like that. So now they're stuck. And here I probably add this like more blank piece of my page. You can leave it like this, and then you have an absolute fun page. But probably if I want to document something, I would put my picture here. I think that's a nice spot to do a picture, and of course maybe some text or even some written words in it, and then you will complete your page like that. So that's what I wanted to show you today. I hope you like the idea and love these pages just as they are without photos. Yes, of course, because with art journaling you aren't you don't have to use pictures, of course. It's just something that I like to do, just to document like my days and what I've done in a certain time and a certain year. Because here, if I look at my table, just picking up the first thing that I can, here I have my journal from last year, August last year, my summer journal. And it's with our summer collection, and I really think this is a little bit smaller even, because that was with the summer collection. We have those little pocket pages, but I really like looking back at it and seeing those pictures. And of course you can do the same thing with this. Is burlap the next prompt? Oh, maybe. To be honest, I don't know if that is the next prompt out of the top of my head. I had to look, but I can put that in when I post the picture on the Facebook pages, and I will put that with it. We try not to post a complete list of when we do all of the prompts, because people just tend to do all of them in one time, and we just want to make sure that we take you through the year, keeping your creative juices flowing. So that's why we didn't tell everybody, but now that it's almost May, we can of course tell you which one it is. So I will look it up, and if it is burlap, then you already have a nice idea what you can do with it. Always like your lives. Thank you, Ingrid. That's so kind. Did a great job with the release. That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you for a great collection. Thank you so much. So many great ideas. First Monday of the month. Monday of the month, you'll know. That's right, Ilza. Totally agree. So let's wait for that. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Yes, that's something that I want to say to you, of course. Have a wonderful weekend. If you already are one of the lucky ones that ordered and got their collections in the mail, or getting them in the mail this weekend, really have fun with it. Show us what you made with our new collection. We love to see it. And again, thank you so much for supporting us. That really means a lot to us. So thank you, and see you again. Bye bye.